My swag is on the top. So much swag. Give me some swag.
Pressing that third floor stinger, dude. Did you get on it?
I got on it. I was a fucking third floor guy.
That's my Willow.
Yeah.
Get it.
Fucking right.
Hey guys, this is Kilo 11 here with 9th Group Milsim, and here with me is
X-Ray 19.
Hello, Vanessa Willems.
And today we're going to be going over our after-action report from Milsim West jump to Crimea down at Camp Leah, Oregon. We had a great time there, met a lot of really cool dudes. So what we're going to do is we're going to give a brief after-action report of each day and how 3rd Platoon saw it, how we saw it, and just give you guys a brief run-through of what happened. So to kick it off, Friday night, how they had us jump out of the trucks was a simulated C-130 with engine prop noises and everything, provided by Wilson. And we had static lines hooked up to the trucks, and we hooked them up to our gear. You know, ran out of the truck, jumped out, PL left, and yeah, them sticky clouds, man. But just grabbed our rucks and then headed up to the mount site where we 1st Platoon set up basically a sponge. We fanned out, set up a sponge, just took all the incoming fire we could so that 3rd Platoon and the rest of the platoons could run through the mount site, wrecking face and doing what they do. And they have some pretty good achievements to that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, what happened was that we got dropped in about 30 minutes after him, and we just sat around for about hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah. But then we ended up going up. We snuck up to the south side of the town, and we just cleared out through the south to the north, right? And it ended up happening to where we actually cleared it in 7 minutes and 16 seconds, according to one of the photographers.
And that's an impressive number. That's
yeah,
an impressive
time.
Very impressive time.
Pretty sweet, mate.
That hammer and anvil strategy is pretty famous through Milsim West. They love doing that. It's a actually famous RR tactic that our RR Op 4 typically use. So we used that this time, and it worked pretty well. We had the anvil up front with 1st Platoon, and the hammer came from behind, and just we got it done first night. So then Saturday, we're gonna go over to 3rd Platoon and have their view of what happened that day.
Yeah, so Saturday we actually had a very late day. We didn't start operations until about 11:30. And when we did start, we just started with just harassment patrols around the area, try to find they started mortaring us, so we tried to find the forward observers. And we actually did find them, and we did stop their operations, but that only angered them, so they ended up moving in a large force from the northwest, and that's when 1st Platoon came into action.
Yeah, we took our guys out of a security and blocking position and helped the left flank that was getting had a little too much pressure on it, so we tried to alleviate some pressure, help out the other platoons, give them some supporting fire, give them a good base of fire. We might have some helmet cam footage from that coming up soon. I know I had my helmet camera running during that whole assault, so it was a good team effort from all the platoons working together that we ran through it, and when we were just shooting people, getting them down, and getting it done, how we do it. Check Raj. So after that little good tidbit, we had went into night missions where 1st Platoon set up a security and blocking position, and me and a couple other 9th Group members stayed patrolling with night vision until about 7 a.m. in the morning. We took down some ambushes. We did some harassment patrols. It's a pretty good time, pretty tiring time, but overall it was great. And we had a lot of help from 4th Platoon. They rolled in, helped us, clear some dudes out. We had about 5 or 6 dudes that kept harassing us, running on in, and we were keeping a good job. We kept everyone out of our sector. 4th Platoon kept their sector up very well. The whole town was under really good lock and patrol, while Russians were still trying to find a good weakness to our impenetrable mountain town. That kicks off Sunday, which started pretty eventfully.
Sunday started with breakfast, which got cut off very early by a Russian attack. They did not stop until the operation ended. They came in from one direction, from our southern border. They just kind of started peppering us, and while most of our forces were diverted down there, they ended up attacking us from the north and almost wiping out 1st. But they held out because they're awesome.
We had 3 gun trucks roll up and just pile out piles and piles and piles of Russian troops. It just seemed like there was no end in sight to all these Russians, but we had quite a bit of pyro up our sleeves, so we got our 40 mils online, we got our hand grenades online, we had 3rd platoon from the 3rd story building laying down fire with LMGs and 40 millimeters, and we got some good helmet cam footage of some good work between 1st platoon and 3rd platoon. We had all the other platoons holding their sectors very, very well. It was a very coordinated effort between all the platoons, which is very, very important. It's never just a 1st platoon show or a 3rd platoon show. It's always all the platoons working together. Teamwork's very, very important, and we try and stress that as much as we can with 9th Group. Is that, it's a team effort. It's never just about us. You always try and, work as well as we can. That's why when we get guys like, the regiment coming out and all the Aussies coming out, it's good that we, work with them, and that, they're fun. They run around in Aussie accents, shooting grenades, and, just crazy, and they just add a really good atmosphere to it. So we had a really, really, really awesome time just getting crazy with it.
Milsim West is all about collaboration, definitely.
Milsim West is all about collaboration. They got a bunch of former mill guys that make up the cadre command structure, which is very, very important. Big shout out to Milsim West directors, Brian Clarkson and Joshua Warren, who's a former 275 Ranger. They structured these events very, very well to make sure the platoons, get a lot of action. They make sure they do a good job of hyping you up as well. It's like you may get put on standby to get deployed for like 2 hours, and you're just sitting there, you're fully kitted up, you're ready to go, you're sitting with all your buddies, and they just do a really good job of structuring these events. And per their AARs that they do after every event, they do a sustain, and they do something that they'd like to change. So they go around and you can, ask questions, be like, hey, I love this, I think this is great, keep doing that. Or, I didn't like this, so here's how I think we can improve it. So we're going to go through and talk about some sustains and some changes that we think would improve. I'm going to kick it off with one of the only issues we really had with the event was that was water. It was not supposed to be as hot as it got. It was about 70s typically during the day, and almost got up to the 80s, which I know might not seem like a big deal to some SoCal people, but a lot of guys who were just ready and packing cold weather gear were not ready for that heat. And so water needed to be distributed a lot faster. I know a couple of our guys got dehydrated because we were dispersing our water to other dudes. And I know our guy who was running around with media, who did an awesome job helping everybody get water, ended up actually going down almost of dehydration. So that was kind of bad. So they had adequate water, it just wasn't getting dispersed fast enough. And Milsim West does an amazing job of keeping safety. That's just something that needed to get dispersed a little faster as water.
Yeah, and in the drop zone on Friday night, there was a little bit of a cluster that happened, because they dropped about 30 to 45 minutes before us at least. It was probably actually multiple hours. We kind of lost track of time.
It's about 3 hours.
Well, but the issue was that after we deployed, there wasn't very much planning on how we were going to assault the town. So we ended up sitting in the darkness for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just sitting there waiting to see where we would drop our rocks so that we could actually assault the town. So while we were sitting there trying to discuss how this happened, we ended up having 1st platoon sitting in the darkness for 3 hours, just waiting for something to happen.
So that could have actually been on the platoon level, handled a little bit better. We could have got the platoon leaders together, get a good solid plan down, which I think they needed to do beforehand, which just because everybody's getting their guys ready and whatnot, just didn't happen. So that's not on the Milsim West directors, particularly, at least from my point of view. Something I would like to sustain was that just really good pyro and really good safety. They have crazy pyro. I mean, there's a 9th Group video where we get shellacked by a pyro that dropped right on top of us, which was awesome, but they do it in a very safe manner as well. They make sure they have very safe pyro, but also that packs quite a punch, and it's pretty crazy. So I think that's awesome, and they allow tags, grenades, 40 millimeters, and some people had some problems with the amount of pyro NATO was packing, but we followed the tax op to a T, and we packed as much pyro as we needed to keep the Russians down. So we did what we did, and we thought we had a pretty good time doing it.
Recommend more tag rounds.
More tags rounds.
Never can have enough.
Never have more grenades. Never have enough grenades.
I'm personally going to start making a grenadier kit after this event, just because I saw how useful the tags were. Man.
I'm a CCT and I have a grenadier kit, mate. Why don't you have one?
I'm not cool enough.
I'm just a hitter. I'm just a DA guy. I'm not cool enough to run a grenade launcher, so I just get to yell one-liners and my buddy shoot grenades. So
I'm a pleb with chops that shows up.
And from us to stay, I'd like to just say that it was really nice that when there was an explosion going off with Audie, the admin were right there to be able to tell you that you were dead. It wasn't one of those things where I did not see anybody not calling hits from Audie. It was always they would always act it out. It was very nice to be able to see that.
Yeah, another good sustain is that I thought they did a very good job of just staging everything really well. They staged, with the C-130s and whatnot, and the airplane noises and the static lines. That's just really cool dynamic that they give. And Milsim West always has, whether it's blank fire or tons of arty sims. Even though they had some interference with the staff cadre of Camp Relaya, who after 2200 we could not use pyro, but we did not know that the first night, which we were first platoon lit off quite a few tags grenades at about 1 in the morning. We shot about 30 in about 2 minutes. We launched quite a few tags grenades, which did not make the Camp Relaya cadre very happy.
We ordered over 40,000 rubles worth of tags grenades.
40,000 rubles of tags, grenades, explodies. So we had a great time. So another good sustain I thought was with the Russians. I just gotta give a big shout out to AAR. Always cool guys to play against. They're always very cool and safe players. I know he reps with AAR a few times, and I've thought about doing it myself just because it looks so fun. I've run NATO every Milsim West event I've been to, and I've loved it, and because I love playing against the Russians, there's nothing like it. Even when I'm chasing them around the woods with night vision, trying to not get ambushed by a Russian patrol, they're the funnest dudes to play against, and I can't wait to see them at the next stop. You got any sustains or changes you'd like?
I don't talk much, as you can obviously see, but I've been to every Milsim West stop. They're always good events. There's always something you can take out of it to make it better, or always like a comment to.
So basically, there's always something that you can be like, hey, I didn't know this, but now I do. It's like when at Dariel Outpost, I was like, mortars, what? I'm a civilian. I don't know anything about mortars or trajectory or calling in 9 lines to get a fire mission going. I had no clue about that. He was taking in 9 lines, giving me grid references, and we ran it over at SO7 and I, where we ran through, I think, 15 mortar rounds in under 12 seconds. We were just slamming them out, and that was a great experience, up on a mountain. I've been freezing my butt off all night, and I've got to just shell out mortar rounds. I thought that was awesome. So Milsim West always has that one little dynamic that you're just like, wow, I don't see this anywhere else. This is so cool.
There's always a new way to Malcolm it in any op. No matter what, Stingrays will get messed up.
They'll get killed.
Don't put down. We put down
killed, mate.
Well, my point I'm trying to get across is they're always fun. You will always have a good time there.
No matter if
you're not gonna be sad.
Yeah, you can run militia. You can. We got all this gear and high speed, whatnot, and we have a great time. And I know the militia guys who are running around with a chest rig and 4 mags and an AK have a ball too, because they're they don't have to deal with all the weight that we have to. That's awesome. So
fake plays.
Fake. So thanks guys again for tuning in. I just wanted to give a really big shout out to Milsim West, to RR, to Airsoft Outlet Northwest for coming out, and I know they had a bunch of cool gear for sale and smoke grenades, which we used a lot. I know a lot of guys bought those. Big shout out to Echo 1 for providing the platoon sergeant's weapons. Big shout out to Evike for also donating weapons, and that guys could use. All the former or active mill guys who were there were using weapons that were donated, which is awesome. You don't see a lot of guys doing that. So stay tuned for a lot more footage. We're gonna have some helmet cam footage. We're gonna have some photos. I know the Aussie's gonna have maybe some cool content coming out. Maybe a little training video or something like that showing.
Check out the regiment Facebook page for all that, mates.
Yeah, so you can see how they cleared out a mountain town in 7 minutes. Gosh, that's fast.
It's all practice, boy. All practice, boy.
Those stingrays, they didn't know it was coming. They didn't know it was coming.
It's all on the bump, mate. All on the bump.
Give me a bump. Give me a bump. Check Raj. Check Raj. All right, guys. This is Kilo 11.
This is X19. Also, I'm sorry we were not able to find Ethan. Sorry. We failed.
Rip Ethan.
And it's Laverne Williams. See you guys later.
Arm curls.
Yeah, because it was like chest
Only
press.
arm curls.
Also, challets.
Yes. I want to be an Aussie. I'm still CAG though. Where's my Anvis?
I was gonna say that's a 2002 with Andis. That's hella CAG.
But rip my Anvis because Ben broke it. Rip.
Motherfucker, my sunglasses.
They're
yours?
Do you want to swap sunglasses?
These are prescription.
Fuck you. Mine are prescription too.
You got
He's dead to us.
Well,
He's fucking dead to
I
us.
wonder if you what I can't think of the word.
What?
Nope.
You got.
Oh. Hey guys. Hey. We
No.
got word. We got word. The sea bugs. The sea bugs got Ethan.
For your threat.
Gun.
No!
No! Oh. I gotta mark his position!
No.
I gotta mark his position!
Ow.
No! Boyo, you'll be alright! You'll be alright, Boyo.
You'll be alright, boy.